Well, you know how excited I'd been about taking the engine out of Project Amy, and I got started on it yesterday and didn't want to stop. Well, today I'm only just getting started on it again, really, because I've had a visitor and another test drive. So I've got another hour. I've got an hour left today to take this out. Take it out, what we'll do with it then, I don't know. I'm not going to have an hour to take it out and move it anywhere, that's for sure. What's amazing here is this car is 25 years old. It's not even been looked after, yet all of these subframe bolts are coming out fine. And then the other month I had a Zafira that was 10 years old and they were all rotten. So there we go. That's Rover for you. Look, I've just pulled the radiator out. The only thing is the cooling pipes for the gearbox are kind of a bit stuck on there at the moment. As you can see, as you may be able to see, there's one there and there's another one there. Kind of send and return thing, I guess. They're basically not wanting to come off. So I'm going to have to just leave them for the moment. To continue, I want to take the cooling pipe off. And I presume this will be a 14mm because, you know, it is Honda, but it's not, it's 13. The never-ending surprises of the Rover 216. This has turned into a disappointment. I can whack out these engine mounts and subframe bolts, no trouble. Made a heavy bit look like a doddle, but then I'm foxed by that. Yes, 12mm. No, it's 10. No, it's 12. That's 13. It's 13 it is, but it's loose on 13 and obviously 12 doesn't fit on it. So there's not much I can do just at the moment now. I'm not even going back to work after this today, so that is the end of today's efforts, which doesn't seem like very much. But I'm going to go back to work just to do a video, am I? Suppose I could do. What kind of video would that be? That's where having a proper Rover horn actually helps, rather than a friendly little pop. Or even better, the 8-horn shouty mega thingy. That would actually frighten the innocent people around though, that's the only thing. I love the size of these massive warehouses. It's so cool to have one. Look at all those bays. All those bays where the truck's back into, to give you some idea of the size of that thing. I need one of those. This is 3 days in the running of taking the engine out of this car. Now, the thing is, I know I could have that drop down to the floor in 5 minutes. Not even 10, seriously, 5 minutes. I could have that drop down and basically off in less than the time it would take for me to tell you basically what I'm doing. So why don't I? Well, the trouble is, what do I do then? My truck's going to be needed later on today, so it's not like I can cart this anywhere. And I want to wash my car. I do. I want to wash this car in preparation for it being my car. Yeah, not necessarily for very long. In fact, the amount of people asking to buy this car, I'd be surprised if I can keep it until the end of next month. But I'd like to use it a little bit beforehand, just to say that I've had one. Many a day I like this, where there is something I quite like to get on and do, but there's always other things just niggling away. But niggling away, I mean small things that I know are coming up next. And at the moment I'm waiting for a chap called Andy to come around, who has got another car for me to test drive. This time it is a Rover, at least. Okay, Brian Johnson, you're basically being switched off for the weekend. And now, Nigel's going to come out to see the daylight. So, the plan now is to wash this and put it in here, so it remains dust free. And then I shall go off out for the weekend, doing my weekend stuff, which is mainly coming here in Nigel. Shouldn't I put that bumper back on properly first? Yes, I think I should. I think that's what I'm going to do now. The real challenge is going to be undoing this nut in there without it snapping off, because they do have a habit of doing that, you know. Well, it was moving a little bit and now it's decided to stop moving, and that's kind of typical, and now it doesn't want to get off. Always the simplest tasks that go wrong. Get off, sir. Leave me alone. Does anybody else like the smell of copper slick? Right, I need to get back on with this. I've got to get that bumper fixed back on properly, and then see for MOT availability and stuff like that. Okay. That's sort of attached now. If you're still following this rather convoluted story, video, whatever you want to call it, good, because it's about to get a bit more colourful. Gosh, that sounds so cheesy. I'm going to go out in Nigel, basically, that's it. The time has definitely come to actually put that Silver 25, known as Alan, not Alan. Who's Alan Johnson? Alan Johnson. Peep Show. Yeah. That's the wrong initials. That's BJ, not AJ. Anyway, it's time for that to definitely go up for sale. Properly up for sale. With a view to getting rid of it. Brian Johnson. I never acquired that car with the intention of keeping it. It was a fix and sell. It's not like this. In fact, the same goes for that ZR that I intend on using next month. I don't intend on keeping it long term, which is just as well, because loads of people seem to want to buy it, and I hope they still want to buy it by the end of next month. So get your bids in, fellas, before I put a price on it. Put the price on it. Put the price on it, sir. Or what? Do you know what? Whilst making my videos, I've never ever thought to myself, that's a bit too silly to go in there. It's just never happened. I have thought maybe that's a little bit on the the fence of what somebody may find offensive and not bothered. And other times I've thought that and still bothered, but not very often. But there's the trouble really with anything like that. There probably isn't a joke or an observation that's worthwhile telling that is actually amusing, that is going to be taken as a joke by absolutely everybody. There's always going to be somebody who won't like it because it affects them. And there is the whole idea of self-deprecation. It's fine to laugh at other people and other things, so long as when you're being laughed at, you don't take offence. And I think that's one of those small things that people actually struggle with, although they won't admit it. Got to buy Nigel some petrol. Poor Nigel. Nigel's hungry for petrol. Although I'd have thought petrol would be considered more of a drink. But cars don't drink, do they? Do we say they drink petrol? We don't say that cars eat petrol. Unless, of course, it's gone really, really old and turned into jelly. And it's not really... God, where am I going with this? Anyway, might just take a moment to apologise for how my channel has been going recently. And now I'm going to retract that apology because I've been doing quite a few car reviews this week, which has meant I've had a bit less time for just working, tinkering, not really fixing things, making videos out of failing to fix things. The car review videos, they do seem to be a bit more enclosed. You know, you can basically set off with the car unreviewed. By the time you've got to the end of it, the review's done, the video's done, job done. And they do bring in viewers that normally wouldn't be viewing. So, you know, apologies to those people that don't like any cars other than Rovers. I'm not sure if apologies is the right word, but obviously it's going to happen. I like driving other cars, come on! I would really like to try out my 8-horn shouty mega thing again underneath the bridge here, but I'm going to frighten a few people. So, well, maybe that's the idea though, isn't it? So tempted just to press it right now. Really so tempted. I resisted the temptation. What a good boy I am. Well, it is 5 o'clock and why don't I at least just get this dropped out so at least I've achieved something. Amongst all of the other things I'm doing, the test drives and the washing the cars and all these things, 3 days should be more than enough just to drop that out. And in fact, as I said yesterday, 5 minutes should be enough. Shall we have a little race against time? Because now that Carl, my friend Carl, is on his way down. So, can I get the job done before he turns up? Because once he turns up, I won't do. Because we've got to nip out and go and collect the car for him. That's the kind of thing that happens with men and cars. In case you didn't know that. But I know you did know that. But I'm telling you again anyway. Oh yeah, I haven't got the right sized open-ended spanner. But this has worked. And that's really what I needed. Best bit, isn't it?
Definitely.
As long as you don't get your feet in the way. They didn't drop exactly that exciting there, did it?
The rear side did.
This side still looks like it's attached to too many things. It is a bit... That's what I do anyway. To be honest, I just wanted it to be dropped. We've accomplished that. That'll do for me. That's the easy bit.
Hello viewers!
Good hell.
We're going on an adventure. Me and Paul Rover, man.
What a knobhead. Update for the end of this video, because I think this really is it. That engine and everything's dropped out. I've got some beers in the back of there that I've given to me, and I've just collected another German piece of shite.
Not me.
Yeah, it's not for me.